Hey everyone, welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading. Today is March 21st, 2021. I'm going to be looking at SPX today, along with our watch list, names that include Apple, Tesla, Facebook, Square, BA, PTON, and a bunch of other names. As you guys can see here, I do have SPX opened on the 5-minute time frame. We did close Friday session just above support, which was at 39.13. I do have targets to the upside at 39.50 and 39.60. However, I do have 39.20 and 39.30 as my confirmation points. Ideally, I would like to see the market push above those two areas prior for entry. So that is above 39.30. To the downside, we do have support, psychological support at that $3,900 mark. I do like to see the market stay above that, just for a bullish case overall. If we can't hold that 3,900 area, definitely look at that 38.80 as strong support. If that can't hold, I do have short positions as take profit at 38.65 and 38.50. Overall, I am bullish on the market, but like I said, I'd like to see us stay above that $3,900 area. Okay. Before I head into the watch list, guys, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, head over to thewealthymentor.net and check out our Discord group. I have just added a new watch list, which is for ETFs in relation to the markets. So names like QQQ, SPX, XLF, XLV, Semiconductor, SMH. If you are index trader, this is definitely helpful for you. Also, we do have a bunch of other services like Benzinga Squawk, along with our trading options callouts. So if that's something that you enjoy doing or like, or want to learn more about, head over to thewealthymentor.net and give us a look. Okay. First name on the watch list, Apple. AAPL is the ticker. Not much on Apple. We do have strong support at that 116 mark. I am going to switch over here to the 4-hour time frame. As you guys can see here, that 116 mark is an area of level of support that I'm going to be looking at. Below that, I am looking at 314 and 312 as potential take profits to the downside. To the upside, I am looking at that 127.50 mark. I believe I mentioned this in last week's video. 127.50 and 129 are key levels for me. If you are a conservative trader, definitely look over the 130.50 mark, as we do have strong resistance up there as well. If you are an options trader and looking to enter the markets tomorrow on a trade, to the upside, I'm definitely looking over that 123 area for scalp positions, take profits at that 124.50 mark and that 127.50 mark. Those are my two targets going into tomorrow to the upside. To the downside, if we can't hold that 119 mark, we do have support at 117.50 and 116. Overall, I would not enter short positions around this area, as we haven't been known to bounce around and whipsaw right back up. So if you're an options trader, definitely watch out for those areas. Definitely look for shorts below that 116 area for take profits of 114 and 112. So that is Apple on the 4-hour time frame. Another name of importance going into next week, again, Tesla. You got to talk about this all the time. It's one of those big names that really controls the markets, and a lot of traders like to enter positions on this. So a big area for me, if you are bullish, I am looking over that 710 mark. However, we did close at 650, so going into Monday, I am looking at a break of 664. If 664, 665 can break, look for potential take profits at 682 and the 690 to $700 level. To the downside, if we can't hold 650, that would be my first confirmation. My second confirmation would be that 640 mark. If we can't hold 640, my positions of take profit would be 630 and 620. So that is Tesla to the downside and to the upside on the 4-hour time frame. Another name that was quite bullish and has been moving higher slightly, kind of under the radar, is Facebook. FB is the ticker symbol. Here we do, as you guys can see, we do have strong support at that 256 level, and we consolidated around that 266 to 256 level before breaking out. We did close just below resistance at that 291 level. Let's call it 291, 292. Above those levels, I am looking at take profits of 297 to the 302 mark. If we break above that, I am looking at 307, which I believe is all-time highs. Let me just check here. Yep, we do have all-time highs at that 305 mark. So 307 would be a new all-time high if we were to break 302 to 304. Okay, switching over to the 4-hour time frame. Now to the downside, if we cannot hold 287, I'm definitely looking at retests at 282 and 280. I would not short 287. However, I would enter shorts at that 280 mark for potential take profits at 274 and 270, which we do have strong support here. And it was the breakout area, which has led us to 291. Okay, that is Facebook on the 4-hour time frame. Another name of importance that has reached critical levels, that is Zoom. Zoom has been pretty bearish. As you guys can see here, all-time highs at 588, and ever since then, we've been trickling lower. We did close Friday's session pretty much at resistance, or you can call it support, depending on the way you look at it. So going into Monday, I am looking a break above that 325 mark for potential scalp to that 342 mark. However, if you want to be a more of a conservative trader, definitely look over that 342 mark as your first confirmation, and your entry would be above the 556 area for potential take profits of 566 and 374 for potential targets to the upside. 390 would be my third take profit area if we are bullish on Zoom. However, we are in a downtrend, so speaking of downtrends, 305 is an area of support for me. If we do break 305, definitely look at 282 and 261 as potential landing spots if Zoom were to sell off. Okay, that is Zoom on the 4-hour time frame. Another name stuck in a small range, PTON, PTON, Peloton. Here we are on the 4-hour time frame. As you guys can see here, 117.50 down to $95 is an area of interest for me that I'm looking at. So going into Monday, for a safer entry, I am looking at that 114 mark. However, 109 and 110.50 would be your first and second confirmation. Above that 111 mark, I would take profits at 114. My second target to take profits would be that 117.50 mark. As a conservative trader, look for entries above 117.50 for potential take profits of 120, 122, 124 and a half. To the downside, 100 is a key psychological support for me. I am looking at 100 as strong support. If that were to break, my potential take profits, target number 1 would be that $95 mark, and target number 2 would be that $88 mark. Okay, so that is Peloton on the 4-hour time frame, and I'm just gonna switch over here to see how we are. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the last area for Peloton to hold on to, the $100 mark. If that $100 mark breaks, we are potentially could drop down to a zone of 100 all the way to $76, which we do have some price action back here on September the 11th, 2020. So this name, along with Zoom, definitely benefited from the pandemic. So since we are opening, with less restrictions now, definitely see it for a major correction with those two names, Zoom and PTON. Another name that I'm going to be looking at is Square. Square, just because Bitcoin is still bullish and Bitcoin is closely correlated to Square. I believe we are at 58,000 on Bitcoin, a few percentage points from all-time highs. So a name like Square is correlated, so you might want to check that out. So my targets to the upside, switching over to the 4-hour time frame. Definitely look over that 230 mark. Over 230, I'm looking at take profits of 137 and 140 and a half. My third take profit area would be that 245 mark. However, if you do not want to get chopped up into this action, definitely look for entries above that 250 mark for potential take profits at 255 and 260 instead. To the downside, if we cannot hold 222.50, that would be my first confirmation. My second confirmation would be that 220.50 mark. If we cannot hold that, I am looking at short positions, take profit areas of 217.50 as my first take profit area. My second take profit area would be that 214 mark. Okay, that's on Square on the 4-hour time frame looking into next week. We do also have strong support at that $200 mark and that 197 area. So if we were really to sell off, definitely look at those areas of where we could potentially land. Another name I'm going to be looking at, NIO. As you guys know, since Tesla has been trending lower, EV names also have followed through. One of those names has been NIO. And as you guys can see here, NIO has been stuck under this resistance point at that $47 mark. So if you guys guessed $47 is what I'm looking at heading into next week, that would be correct. A conservative trader definitely look over that 47 mark for potential take profits at 49 and 51. Really bullish at 54. To the downside, if we cannot hold that $40 mark, look for potential take profit targets at that $38 mark and the $36 mark. We do also have a potential low at that $32 mark, which you guys can see here, a big long wick got bought up on March the 5th, 2021. So if we do sell off, look for that as your final destination at that $32 mark. Okay, that is NIO on the 4-hour time frame. One last name that I'm going to be looking at, guys, is Boeing, ticker symbol BA. Here we are on Boeing. Pretty much looked like a breakout here above that $278 mark, 280. However, we got rejected there, and we have been trending in that $268 to $250 area. So going into Monday, my first target entry area position would be above 268.50 for potential take profits of 275 and 280. Those would be my two targets to the upside. And to the downside, if you guessed a break of 250, you are correct. Under 250, I am looking at positions of take profit of 244, 242, and 237, which would be proper landing spots on Boeing if we do see a correction. All right, guys. Overall, I'm still very bullish on the market as long as we stay above that $3,900 area.